9:35 exactly. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Welcome back to the program. In response to a request from a listener on Monday, I think it was Iqbal Musa, he'd like to get a bit of background into the conflict in Ethiopia. I talked with Ibrahim Fakude. We discussed the current situation, but our caller wanted more background information to the conflict. And before I do start talking with our analyst analyst in the Horn of Africa, that is Abdulkadir Omar, what I can also tell you is that the UN Security Council on Monday has suggested that this is a very complex situation simply because in a country of over 110 million people, over 90 different ethnic groups and 80 languages, no one can predict what continued fighting and insecurity will pan out in the next few months. And God forbid this doesn't result in a full-scale civil war. Assalamu alaikum, Abdulkadir Omar. Welcome to the program.
Thank you very much for having me. Good to be here.
My pleasure entirely. What is the background to this conflict? Why are the Ethiopian army, the Ethiopian government in conflict with the people from Tigray?
Thank you. This is a very important question. To understand the conflict in the current conflict between the Ethiopian National Defense Forces, that's the Ethiopian government army, and the Tigray people in the north of Ethiopia. I think it's important to understand. It's important to go back to how the Ethiopian government, how the country itself is structured into different ethnic-based federal states that have on paper semi-autonomy and a larger say in their affairs with regards to economy, politics, and gender leadership. But in real sense, the state, the central, the government in Addis Ababa controls much of the spheres of life in all the Ethiopian region places. And when the current regime came to power through Abiy Ahmed, the current prime minister, and the TPLF, that the party in northern Ethiopia was toppled, the Abiy Ahmed decided to continue that form of party and centralized system, and he decided to dictate to the people of Tigray whether or not they could hold the regional elections, and say because of COVID-19 and so on and so forth. And the people of Tigray held that, in spite of the prime minister's warning and objection, held this election. And this is in essence what kicked off the fight between the Tigray and the government. It's essentially a conflict between the TPLF on the one hand that is powerful and supports the semi-autonomous federal structure, while Abiy Ahmed, the current prime minister and his supporters, wanted a more sort of a centralized, more of a unitary system where the government in Addis Ababa had more say in the regional states. And this is essentially the supporters on either side, or either supporters of the federal system, or a more unitary system where the government in Addis, the central government, has more say and power. And
do you think this would be possible, Abdulkadir? Will this be possible, taking into account that there are almost 110 million people in the country, which I did introduce at the start of the program, There are 90 different ethnic groups and 80 languages. Is that not part of the problem? The ethnicity issues?
Well, I don't think the heterogeneous form of the Ethiopian society, of the Ethiopian community, inherently poses a problem. It is okay when you look at it from a perspective of this ethnic-based, this ethnicity, the main ethnic groups wanting to have more say in the internal affairs, and the friction that's caused by the government going the other way, and the marginalization that results from larger ethnic groups like the Oromo people not having a larger say in the social political economic affairs, then you might say yes, the ethnic based head or the different ethnic groups and the may cause a problem. But the current conflict has more to do with the different ethnic groups wanting to have more say in their socioeconomic and political life, and the government having a more centralized approach to that. So it's not so much about the ethnic groups as it is about the current political dispensation, really, and the absence of an agreement or a consensus on what form of government the different states will assume.
Does the land issue ever feature in this conflict for now? Has that come up at all?
Sorry, pardon?
Land ownership.
Land ownership is at the center, and land ownership has been at the center of the Ethiopian conflict for generations. And the reason why the last monarchy in Ethiopia was toppled by the Marxist Leninist regime had a lot to do with land ownership, and the millions of Ethiopians who were rendered landless peasants by the feudal system at the time. And after in 1991, after the military regime, the dictatorship was toppled by the EPRDF, the Ethiopian People's Revolutionary Democratic Forces, toppled then and ushered in a new constitution in 1994 that gave more autonomy to the people and based on their ethnic identities. The gentrification in the outskirts of Addis Ababa and the alienation of the Oromo people led to the conflict that we started in around 2013, 2014, that culminated in the TPLF regime also being toppled. So land ownership, ethnic groups, nations, different nations and nationalities that really have very little in common in Ethiopia, and the issue of both ethnic groups wanting more autonomy, and their yearning for the right to self-determination. These are the core reasons for the current conflict.
So basically, it is about Ethiopia being at war with itself. Would you agree with me? Because with all these different ethnic groups and the land ownership issue, we could possibly see a full-scale civil war, and also the land being broken up into little individual states. And Ethiopia, as we know it, probably won't exist any longer if this issue is not resolved as soon as possible.
Well, that's true. Thankfully, the majority of the Ethiopian people, except the Amhara ethnic group, really want either a very loose confederation where states are very autonomous, and people, have control over the economies, and the states have an independent army and independent security forces, or to succeed completely in the complete independent state. I agree with you in that the Ethiopian Empire, or the Ethiopian of the Ethiopia, as we have always known it, has gone, and it will be very hard to reconstitute Ethiopia in the shape and form that the international community has always known it. And what we might get from the current conflict is either the sort of very loose confederation of states, or the small states for the balkanization of Ethiopia, where we have Tigray independent states, their own independent states, Somali independent states, etc., coming out of the current Ethiopian policy.
My final question to you, we're also hearing from the United Nations that because of the conflict, this long-standing, ongoing conflict, that there's serious situations of poverty and hunger and starvation, and that too can ignite what is already a very volatile situation.
That's true. As you know, and as we all know, famine and poverty, etc., have invariably been, a result of conflict throughout Africa. But what we currently had, what we've currently had in Ethiopia is sort of a state-sanctioned blockade of humanitarian aid. Access to humanitarian aid being restricted by the state in sort of to have a collectively punish the Tigray people, and this, I think, the ongoing conflict and the fact that the state is also determined to restrict the access to humanitarian assistance in Tigray might lead to a greater humanitarian crisis in Ethiopia. Hopefully, the current negotiations being led by the AU envoy, President Obasanjo, will succeed, and hopefully we will have a soft landing for the Tigray Defense Forces and the OLA, and that there is an amicable solution to the ongoing conflict.
We sincerely hope so, and that's where we leave it. Thank you indeed for your time. A very worrying situation, undoubtedly, but we do hope common sense does prevail. That was Abdulkadir Omar, an analyst on the Horn of Africa. Jazakallah for your time, and Salaam Alaikum to you.
Wa alaikum salam. Thank you very much.
9:48 exactly. Once again, time for us to visit the markets. Inshallah, when we get back, we will be wrapping up. We'll be talking with the brother Inayat Wadi, my colleague here at the radio station. We're going to be looking at his bumper-packed show for tonight, and not to be missed show. So do stay with us.
Kiki's have now reopened on 235 Matthews Maiwa Road in Durban. Head on over for the taste with Kik. We offer something scrumptious for everyone in the family. Wraps, chicken tikka, burgers, tender grills, mocktails, milkshakes, and so much more. Corporate and events catering available. Visit our social media pages for more info or call 031 209 0119. Kiki's, the taste with Kik.
Africa Muslims Agency teams are on the ground in Afghanistan. Millions of people go daily without food. You can heal Afghanistan. Sponsor towards feeding a family at 1,500 in a month or any amount. Visit africamuslimsagency.co.za or call 011 834 8685. Africa Muslims Agency, inspiring the spirit of giving.
Shimmer, sparkle, captivate. Nothing less than a masterpiece. Droplets of gold inspires precious design. Platinum bursts with intricate freshness, and every pure diamond becomes more than just a girl's best friend. Voda Gold Gem Jewelers, where timeless dreams become a reality. Come to us. We tailor-make designer gold, platinum, and diamond jewelry. Trade in or remodel your old gold. Clad yourself with classy name-branded watches. We offer insurance valuation and freezer card calculation. Visit us at 534 Ridge Road, Overport, or call 031 208 9142. Voda Gold Gem Jewelers, manufacturers of fine gold and diamond jewelry.
What makes Randery Jewelers the optimum place for your memorable gift? Is it our range of exclusive, high-end, luxurious jewelry? Or is it our master craftsmanship of all your bespoke jewelry needs? We believe it's because at Randery Jewelers, we know just how to make your special moments last forever. Whether it's for a wedding, anniversary, or just a simple gift to show your love, trust Randery Jewelers to make it special. www.randeryjewelers.com. Make your moments last forever with Randery Jewelers, the family name you can trust.
Approximately 785 million people in this world do not have access to safe, clean water. In developing countries, around 80% of